When I was growing up and in school, over time I noticed differences between the teachers. I remember some teachers had the ability to bond with the entire class. There would be a buzz and joy in the room. Kids were motivated to learn more. All were welcome, whether chatty or silent, studious or serious, even those who were mischievous, those who were at different learning stages. One teacher in particular I remember at school, Sister Barbara, the class was rooted in the issues of the day. We had deep and meaningful conversations about the Vietnam War, about poverty, about civil rights, and we could share how these huge realities were intersecting into our personal lives. I shared how my brother had to go to Vietnam, something I didn't understand at 10 years old. Another young girl from Japan, when we were talking about World War II, cried out one day about the devastation caused by Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Sister Barbara reverenced that moment and responded with deep compassion and taught the rest of us about compassionate listening. Her authority, Sister Barbara's authority, was unquestioned in that room and unchallenged. And yet she did not dominate or rely on fear or manipulation or seeking favor. In today's gospel, we see that Jesus saw the situation of the people of his time with an even deeper compassion and sense of authority than any we might experience in this world. Jesus' compassion flows from God's great love, God who has carried us on eagle's wings in times of personal trial, but also in times of collective struggle. As a country that may have lost its way, as a world that has not yet figured out how to feed the vast majority of people, how to end war, and how to preserve our planet. Jesus saw how the social and religious reality was impacting the personal lives of the crowd he faced that day. The crowds living in Judea were dominated by another country, Rome. Domination is a crushing type of leadership, whether it is one country over another or in a relationship. What a challenging life that is for the one dominating, however. To not see someone else's potential, what a limited and small world that can be. As Jesus gazed at the crowds, he did feel a sense of compassion, and some might say pity. But what he also saw was a great harvest of what could be. He saw what the people needed, and he acted. He cured, he healed, and he banished demons. He made the impossible possible as he preached, healed, and even chased out. In this gospel, we see Jesus offer a different way of leading as he calls 12 of the disciples to be his apostles. He is deeply rooted in the tradition in which he was raised and in how God shaped the people of his time into the 12 tribes of Israel. But Jesus saw God also continuing to act in the present, in the times the historical Jesus lived in, as God acts in the context of our times. The word apostle in Greek, apostolos, means the one sent. Apostles are those to be sent, to be ready to respond and engage in God's mission, proclaiming the reign of heaven is here, close at hand, and not far off at all. When we look at the world as it could be, what a great harvest. Yet what do we need to do in order to reap the fullness of that harvest? Jesus called upon the apostles to heal diseases that plagued his time. And God calls on us through the risen Jesus to cure what plagues us. Cancer, of course, heart disease, but also disease caused by hunger, malnutrition, and the overwhelming imbalance in our world. We need to heal those who are struggling in our streets with fentanyl and heroin. We need to cast out forces that cause so much polarization. We need to find the solution to gun violence. Jesus grants the apostles authority and credibility to engage in his mission. Authority that does not come from domination, from command and control, but from compassion, the power of compassion. Compassion is the power driving Jesus into action. Compassion shapes his plan. Compassion is the ability to see others in their giftedness. Jesus has that incredible gift at looking at one another with hope. Seeing giftedness and potential can waken spirits, can be huge news to the other, to the one seen, but also to the one seeing. It expands their world. Jesus is looking at us with such eyes, reminding us of God's overwhelming love and faithfulness, of God's fidelity to us, God's care for us, calling us to believe, to trust in his authority, and allow him to commission us, to work through us, that we might be agents of change, that we might be the apostles and allow ourselves to be sent. May we take this moment to do as Jesus asks and pray for laborers in the harvest and be willing to go forth if we are called.